Juwan Howard got into a little bit of a scuffle, a little bit of a slapping contest. Some players were in it. Punches were thrown. Braylon, Twitter went nuts. People wanting this guy fired. We're such a reactionary response right now as a culture. People wanted this guy out of there, and as you can see, just starts out with a little friendly handshake. Juwan was kind of late getting into the handshake line. Right. Didn't appreciate a timeout that was called at the end of the game. People were saying
2 timeouts, actually.
People were saying, well, you shouldn't press then. And to me, you're watching this, and the initial interaction physically was initiated by the Wisconsin coach.
Coach Gar. Yeah, as I'm watching this, for the people that are watching at home, we're showing you the copy right now. We're not showing the volume so we don't get in trouble. But basically what happened was Coach Gar, coach of Wisconsin, he took a timeout because Juwan Howard was trying to press, get some of his guys in there trying to press at the end of the half, trying to finish on a good note, get some offense in. A lot of times you don't get a chance to get in these situations, so trying to get some in-game experience, and he did not appreciate Coach Gar taking a timeout as they were trying to press, because when you take the timeout, you now move the ball from the baseline all the way to the other half. So he didn't like that. So at the end of the game, Coach Gar decides to come up to Juwan and explain to him, in his words, why he called the timeout. He reached for Juwan Howard's hand, and in the NBA, they call this the blank stare. Basically, Juwan Howard wasn't a fan of how Coach Gar ended that game, so he was going to just pass by Coach Gar. And as a man, that's his prerogative. You know what? I'm just going to walk by this guy.
Yep.
And maybe we'll talk on the phone. Maybe we'll talk via email. Maybe we'll talk at a later date. Maybe it's after the season. Maybe it's in the Big Ten tournament. But we'll talk at another date. Right now is not the place. I'm not feeling you. I'm not feeling what you did. I just want to walk past you. And if you want to call that something, it is what it is. It's called. In the moment, this is how I'm calming myself down. I'm just going to walk by it. So as he tries to walk by Coach Gar not only grabs his hand, he grabs his elbow as well. He grabs the hand, he grabs the elbow so that he can place Juwan directly in front of him so that he can tell him why he called the timeout. And he says something about that in the press conference to the extent, and it was a cheap shot, to be honest. He says, I don't know if he knows that rule or not. Like, that was a little bit of a slap in the face. That was another shot during the press conference. But then Juwan Howard says, don't put your hand on me. And then Coach Gar grabs him again a little bit, and essentially Juwan Howard grabs him as well. Like, listen, you see, I can do it too. MF, get your hand off me. Don't touch me.
Yep. I'm glad we're kind of seeing this the same way because, like I said, a lot of people are just mad at Juwan Howard saying he's not a leader of men and stuff like that. But to me, there's differences in how people can touch you. And I don't care where I am, no matter what I do for the rest of my life. If somebody walks up to me and tries to restrain me, and that's what I thought the Wisconsin coach, that's where he went wrong. Because there's one thing to, like, put your hand on someone's arm, just say, hey, man, I'm trying to talk to you. It's another thing to grip them up to where you control their arm movement and you control where they're standing. And to me, I've been in lots of fights.
Oh, yeah.
And usually when someone's gripping you up like that, it's about to go down, right?
And so I also don't like this. People like, they're calling for his head. And it's just, it sucks because it's one of those things. It's my birthday and I don't want to get into it. And it's off the Malcolm X's death day. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to be the strong, angry, militant black man. But when they see the black man, it's like, see, look at this. It's instantly a look at a snapshot. Like, we literally saw a coach, and I know it's NFL versus NCAA. We saw a coach this year punch a player in the helmet, and nobody said anything. Nobody made any type of ruckus. Bruce Arians of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers punched a player in the helmet because the player did something that he wasn't supposed to do. The player got fined. Bruce Arians got fined by the NFL, but it wasn't that big a deal. You see the same thing where he goes after a coach, and now it's all of a sudden, he shouldn't be doing this. He's the leader of men. So what I want to say to this is, I do not condone Juwan Howard swinging or throwing punches. He definitely is a leader of men. Like, when you hire him, at not even just any school, I'm speaking from my school. When you get hired at the University of Michigan, you are not just a leader of men. You are a leader and the best of men. That's what we represent in Michigan. So this is intolerable. Like, you can't do this at University of Michigan. This is not acceptable, and they don't condone that. Alums don't condone that, and you as fans, you shouldn't condone that. But with that being said,
I condone it. I totally condone it. I'm one of those guys.
See, there's one part that nobody talks about, and I literally have watched this, Maz, and I want to get you in on this in a second. There's one part that I've watched 1,000,000 times just to make sure I was saying it right. I know I turned 39. I didn't turn 89. My eyes still work. When you watch the second, when he swings on the guy, the mush slap, whatever you want to call it, the basketball punch, that's what I'm going to call it. Notice the guy that he swings on, the assistant, He's pushing his way through all of the assistants, all of everybody to get to Coach Gar and to get to Juwan. And the last person he pushes, he gets into a bit of a push and shove match with the player.
Yep.
The assistant that got hit. He was pushing a player. That's when Juwan lost it. Juwan didn't swing on this guy just because he was coming up. Juwan didn't swing on this guy just because it looked good. Juwan didn't swing on this guy because he was from Chicago and he wanted to show you how tough he was and he was a part of Fab Five. He swung on the guy when he put his hand on Juwan's player. That's the problem that I have an issue with. Nobody is talking about that. Juwan this, Juwan that. He should be fired. He should be gone. And by the way, he has a stellar reputation as a player, as a coach, as a father. Stellar reputation. One moment, now he deserves to be fired. Pay attention to when he puts his hand on a player, talking about the assistant coach from Wisconsin. That's when Juwan lost it.
And that's why I condone it in a lot of ways. Like, I'm okay with this because, you know, you think of, like, parents, they're out with their kids. Like, you shouldn't fight in front of your kid. Well, listen, you touch my kid, you're about to see a different animal, right?
And oh, by the way, this kid's parents trusted you to take care of him.
Right.
To protect him. So if that's my son, if this is my son, me and my wife, this is our son, and we see Juwan Howard doing what he said he was going to do when he came in my living room, I have no problem with that.
And how do you feel as a collegiate player when you see your coach coming to your bat like that?
I want to play for him.
Exactly.
I want to play for that guy. With that being said, the punishment that I propose, there's 5 games left in the season. I say suspend him the final 5 games of the season.
Okay.
And maybe even do something along the lines as Michigan, like tell the NCAA or tell everybody that you have, you know, told Juwan that he must attend 2 anger management classes or something like that, because it makes it look better when we send it to the NCAA. You don't want the NCAA to get involved.
Can we also send it to some boxing classes?
We
need to teach these basketball players how to throw a punch, man.
I actually, Ron Bellamy tweeted me texted me happy birthday, and I said for my birthday gift, I'm gonna get them boxing lessons. But 5 games. Then maybe you do something like you make him go to anger management twice, send that to the NCAA, so the NCAA doesn't feel the need to get involved. I don't want to force their hand. But all this, suspend him the rest of the year, that means if they make the tournament, that means through the Big Ten tournament, that's BS. He had 5 games, you suspend him, you do the two anger management classes, and then he's done. You let him go through. His stellar representation, his stellar record is what I'm going by, and also what I saw, Maz.
He's had some priors, man.
I know Maryland and Turgeon
last year. He's got TO. He's got TO'd. He's got it all. He's angry. He's having a terrible year. This is a bad year for Michigan. You say there are 5 games left?
There's 5 games left.
If they win 4 out of 5, I think they make the tournament. I personally do think they still make the tournament. Fire him? Absolutely not. No way. But those Wisconsin assistant coaches, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on them myself. Yeah, did you see the crotch chop guy, Braylon?
I'm trying to tell you.
Show the chop crotch guy before we go to a break here.
Chop crotch.
Look at this guy. Look at the chop crotcher.
Come get it.
And then when he runs, look at him run. Look at him run away.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3.
Crotch chop.
So this is amazing, because before he does the crotch chop, he legitimately does his hands and said, all you guys are doing is talking. Keep in mind, Michigan was trying to get their hands on Wisconsin. I'm glad that the players we saw a couple punches, but I'm glad that it didn't get past that. But don't do this and then walk away and do this like, a Triple H type move. It's right here. And then turn your back and run away. If you're going to do a crotch chop, hey, come in my face. Let's get it on.
There's always that guy standing 40 feet away running his mouth. Like, always.
With the littlest shirt on in the arena.
Yeah.
By the way, the best crotch chopper is Pete Weber.
Yes.
Okay, Pete Weber.
Pete Weber.
Who are you?
Who do you think you are?
I am.
Pete Weber, then Triple H, and then Road Dogg Diaz. Oh, you didn't know?
Well, we're not done discussing this Juwan Howard situation. We got some quotes from Juwan. We got quotes from the coach of Wisconsin coming up after this, and also going to be joined by Brandon Brown, the publisher of Wolverine Digest for Sports Illustrated. Want to get his take on this, and we will do that next right here. My name is Stick, filling in for Ryan Armani. That is birthday boy Braylon Edwards,
baby.
And this
39.
is
The Bottom Line. Stay tuned. Maz has some presidential trivia as well. I can't cheat, although I do have my laptop. You've reached the end of the video. You know what you should do? Press like. You know you like the content that we have here at Woodward Sports Network. I'm Braylon Edwards from The Bottom Line. Subscribe to us right now.